So, nice. Communist Daughter, brainchild of you or you it, I'm not sure. I feel like, John, you have a lot of life experience to offer especially all the people who are performers or songwriters here in the audience tonight. I was wondering if you could do a quick top 5, John Solomon's top 5 do's and don'ts of rock and roll. They don't have to be separate lists. They can be together.
Wow, let's boil it down.
Yeah, let's get to the nitty-gritty right away.
Top 5. One of the things I always wanted to tell a younger version of myself is that you don't have to sprint to the finish line. It's actually, if you're a musician, this is a career, and so you're not going to suddenly reach some spot and then go, yay, I made it. So you have to just kind of take everything in stride and build on it, and slowly build, or build fast, or have some dips and some ups, and and just don't look at anybody else's career as a barometer for your own career. That was a long number 1.
That was like 3 number 1s in number 1.
Okay, so then I only have to do 2 more.
You only got 2 more.
All right. I guess another thing would be music is not a competition. I mean, if you're involved in a battle of the bands and things like that, I guess it's a competition then. But there's enough fans, there's enough money, even though it doesn't feel like there's enough money. But you're not competing with another musician nobody listens to music and goes, I found the one rapper that I like. Too bad, other rappers. I'm not going to listen. So there's a lot of times where people will listen to things, or other musicians will hate on musicians because they just there's natural competitiveness, and even I fight it in myself. But when you sit back and step back, you're going to be a lot happier as a person if you don't compete.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Well, I've had a lot of practice at all this.
Yeah. Yes, you have.
Yeah. And then I guess the third one would be don't let your idea of being an artist overtake being an artist. So whatever you think what you're doing. I had a big problem with drinking and drugs and partying and being that part of my music making and what I thought being a musician was, and that kind of overtook my life. But it can also be in just your impressions of what you have to do versus what you do. 'cause you will never be resolved. With the passing of the fall, so we'll cover all the family views, the great songs they
So let's talk about this new record. You've got, do you have just one full length thus far and a couple of EPs, right?
Yeah, we have one full length, and actually, like, I mean, there's really like one EP, but we're kind of, you know, because I've been doing this for a while, we're trying to do it in a way that, like I said, it's not a sprint, and so, I mean, taking 3 years between full length records, I remember when I was 21, that sounded like, who would do that? That's horrible. Why would you do that? But now it's like, I would rather put out the right record than, you know, well, I don't want to put out Chinese Democracy because is that too? Yeah, see, there we go.
Yeah, there's like one GNR guy.
Yeah,
Everyone else has given up.
Yeah,
gave up a long time ago. So tell me about who you're working with on this. Is it something that you're doing all in house, or how do you know, who are you working with, and how did you decide that that was the right relationship with you? I think one of the things that I always try to talk about with people who I do these interviews with is that you can't do all this stuff by yourself. You can't be the songwriter, the guy that runs the band, that books the shows, that promotes the shows, that, you know what I mean? You got you got to partner with people, and how do you decide, oh, this is a person who might be a good person to partner with, or you know what, that didn't work, and here's why.
Well, I mean, in music industry, as with anything, there's going to be a lot of, you know, you learn by messing up, and you also learn, you know, like the only way to find out who you work well with is, you know, you have to kind of go into a situation knowing what you want. And with this record, we're working with Kevin Bowe, who he's a producer and songwriter in town, and I wanted to work with somebody. It was more of like, it was a mutual thing that started happening because he liked the songs I was writing, and I really admired how he was able to be an artist and a songwriter, and his career, where like we don't necessarily make the same kind of music.
No.
But I think that if you just work with people that agree completely with you, then you're just going to end up with a record that the two of you will listen to. And so, I mean, I liked that he is not an indie musician at all, and so he held my feet to the fire about making a record that sounds good. That's, you know, a radio station is not going to be like, this is great, but we can't put it next to other songs because it sounds horrible next to everything. But that's one of the things I went into this situation knowing that I was going to be outside of my comfort zone, and I just want to make the best record I can, whether, you know, if it flops, then it's not like I have to quit. I hope nobody takes away my music badge.
Yeah, have you ever thought about quitting through all the kind of ups and downs of the end of the first band and some of the, you know, the addiction stuff? And I mean, it's not been an easy.
No,
have you ever thought like, I'm gonna go?
Yeah, I did.
Sell some cars.
I sold food. I after my first band broke up, we broke up because of my behavior, and you know, we had kind of petered off because it was impossible to work with me, and I was just like, being a musician is really hard if you don't have the right attitude about it. You know, if you do feel really competitive, or if you do get hung up on other people are making it and you aren't, or, you know, you can be really negative about life, and suddenly it's like I hate every day that I'm doing this, and I'm only doing this out of spite or something. And so I decided I was like gonna quit. I didn't want to be a musician anymore. I didn't want to live in the city. And so I went to a small town, but then I realized that what I would do as like as a hobby was make music. And so that meant that I was still making music. I just didn't think I was going to be being a musician anymore, which turned out that if I'm doing it to relieve stress, might as well do it.
You talked about a lot of reasons a lot of reasons that aren't good reasons for being a musician. What are the good reasons for being a musician?
Cars.
In your opinion, cars.
Mostly cars.
Yeah.
No, when I was like 14 to 17, before I understood music and like just didn't even understand how to put notes together, it was magic. Like music was like, it was amazing. It was magical.
Sorcery?
Yeah, well, it could change how you feel instantly, and it was just such an amazing thing to me. And as I started to make music, and once I really crossed over to, you have to work and learn a long time before you can get to that place where suddenly you can give that to somebody. It's the most rewarding thing in the world to be able to write something and then have somebody tell you about how that was magical to them. Even if it's not like I do it for the praise or anything, but I know that the relationship that I have with a song is my own personal thing, and it's very intense. And then if somebody else has a relationship with a song that I put out there, then it's like, oh, I'm glad I did that then, because had I not done that, they wouldn't have had that chance, and I wouldn't have had that chance. So. kid you remember. I'm not the kid you knew. I'm not the kid you remember. I'm not the kid you knew. I'm not the kid you remember. I'm not the kid you knew. I'm not the kid you remember.
Thank you very much for coming to Sutter, for having us, guys.